Hi guys, and welcome back to In Search of Lost Diecast. Buono Estente. New video, new models that have just come through. Really pleased with this little selection. Couple in here that I've been after for quite a while. Again, ones that I had as a kid, and if you're of a certain age, I'm sure they're the ones that you had yourself. We're going to start off with a Jerry Anderson vehicle, and very happy to report I did have one of these before. I did manage to find one, but unfortunately the one that I got before had several breakages, but this is the Captain Scarlet MPV in very good condition. A little bit of wear around the doors tends to happen, but opening doors, and if they'll stay up, which they probably won't, that one will, there we go, are lowering steps. The only thing that's missing from this is the radioactive crate of gold, which it originally came with. There will be a picture up here of how it is. Beautiful model. Again, one of the Dinky heavy duty models. Seriously, if you threw this across the room and hit someone with it, you'd take their head off. They're absolutely weigh a ton. Lost a bit of its, as you see there, it's losing a bit of its decal. It's a silver one, might be very difficult to reproduce, but I'm going to give it a go, see if I can do something close to it. But that one's definitely right for restoration. And as you can see here, it's got the decal on the side. Now, I've seen a few restorers use it so that the actual decal is over to the left. But what you've got to remember is that black... Let's see if we can zoom in. Yeah, I know I can in my little program. If I zoom in on that, you'll see that the black outline around the gold actually creates an S. And that S obviously stood for Spectrum, which was Captain Scarlet's organisation. The front is pretty plain. Decal on the other side. Obviously the back's got that silver thing. I wonder that I know you can in modelling supply shops and sort of people that make cards. There is some silver sticky paper, so I'm wondering whether I could adapt, because there's only a couple of fine black lines on both sides, whether I could adapt something like that to finish that one off. But anyway, that's the MPV, and we're going to park him there next to Despicable Me painter. The great thing about this video is these are all ones, I think, pretty much, that I was after. And it was a job lot, or two job lots actually. So to get multiple models that I actually wanted in a job lot, and I didn't pay a lot for them. Next one is the British Railways Express horse box. There we go. Sadly, its tyres have seen better days. The ones at the back aren't too bad, but that one's absolutely had it. I think what would just happen with these is if this was one of your pride and joys, you set it on a shelf near a window, and the heat from the window would generate and give you a flat spot. And then even sometimes it might even stick to the table or the windowsill or whatever it was that it was on. And then when you lifted it up, it turns up. Martin Dare explained it to me. He said that they go like polos, and that's exactly what they do. There is, despite the fact that they're rubber tyres, there is absolutely no movement in those tyres whatsoever. So when I restore this, which I am going to do, this one will require some new rubber. And when I showed this, when I got it in the DMC Tavern, done a couple of videos now where I haven't actually done this, but just put this to one side just for a moment. The DMC is a collective. It's the Diecast Modelers community. It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, And I've got to say, if you have any interest whatsoever in die-cast cars, whether it's collecting, whether it's restoring, or whether it's just sort of jogging your memory about things that you had when you were a kid, joining this is a great idea, because the guys there are so kind, so helpful. I've become a moderator over there as well. So when you sign up, you will get 3 little questions. And it's basically to make sure that A, you're not a robot, or B, you're not a bit of a troll. Because the wonderful thing about this group of people is they're not rivet counters. They don't look at the way you restore a model. They actively encourage you to restore. And if your finished model came out like that, you would get support and you would get friendly advice on how you could make it slightly better. They don't sit there telling you that's awful. There's a few groups out there that I've sort of seen and had a look at where obviously the people are not quite so supportive. So DMC highly recommended. And the reason I mentioned that was obviously when I showed this, I was told, obviously the process for restoring vehicles, generally speaking, is dismantle, strip, repaint, reassemble. That's about as simple as it gets. Now, the remove paint part can be one of 3 ways. You can either dip it in caustic soda. So when I say dip it in caustic soda, you put it in a water bath. You pour boiling water over the top of it, and then you sprinkle caustic soda crystals using the appropriate safety gear, because obviously it's not nice stuff. You can use paint stripper. That will work on some. It doesn't work on all. The caustic soda doesn't work on everything. Or you can just literally use your wire brush to sand off the paint. Only thing with that is obviously you can damage the casting if you're going a bit rough with a wire brush. But because of that, when I showed this, I was told straight away, if you're going to restore that and put the body in caustic soda, do not put the base, because the base is aluminium. So if you end up getting one of these, when you separate it with the 3 rivets, so there's 1, 2, 3 rivets there, do not, under any circumstances, place this base in caustic soda. I'm quite lucky in the respect that if you look closely at that, it's a little bit grubby. It's a little bit tarnished, but because it's so far recessed, it's actually in very good condition. So what I'm going to do when I restore this is I'm going to use this as a paint mat to try and get something close or approximate to that colour for the outside. I'm going to leave this as it is. I will remove the tyres, probably remove the axles. Might not actually. Might leave the base intact, but just replace the tyres and then do the restoration part on the vehicle itself. It's got an opening back door. And inside it's got 2 compartments for the horses. And then it's got another one, this one, which is closed off at the front. And both doors are intact. So to get one with both doors was great. Really nice condition. Well, I say nice condition. What I mean is it's intact. I haven't got to buy any bits for it other than the tyres. So hopefully that's a fairly easy one. So I'll put that one there. What we got next? Oh, here we go. For those of you that watched, I've done a new feature which is called Model Magic, a Model Magic moment, and that's basically just focusing on one particular vehicle that has a number of features that's worth spending a little bit more time on. And that was on, the first one was on a fire engine, the Merryweather Dinky. It's not a super toy, but it blooming well should be, because it weighs an absolute ton. This one itself is the 555 fire engine. Again, it's got its ladder, the internal parts missing. Again, if anyone knows where to source internal parts of ladder, I need one for that, I need one for the other Dinky toy one. I've got a lot of fire engines. I had a lot of fire engines. I love fire engines. When I was a boy, I didn't want to be a fireman, but I did love fire engines. So this is it is just a fire engine. But I have a feeling this is a Dennis. But I've got so many of these. What I'm going to do with one of them, and this was a suggestion from somebody on the DMC. Please forgive me. I can't remember who suggested it. But because I've got so many of these, I'm actually going to turn this one into a green goddess. So for those of you that are not aware what a green goddess is, picture up here. But a green goddess was the army when the firemen went on strike in the late 70s and again in the early 2000s, I think it was. Army vehicles, which tend to be maintained to the nth degree but are ancient. The Green Goddess fire engines came out and protected everybody when the firemen were on strike. So that's going to become a Green Goddess. That one's there. What we got next? Aha. Now, another one of our regulars, Colin Turner, sent me the base of the back of a comma van that was a milk float. Bugger me, in this job lot I ended up with another one. Now if I can just get this thing moving, which I can't. Oh yes I can, there we go. So that's what I had, but mine was very dark blue, and Colin sent me that. But this is another one. As I say, that goes in place there. You've got a little screw here which locks it in place. You can normally do it with your nail. There you go, that's now on. Missing a couple of tyres. I bang on about tyres. You probably get the over not again thing here. But very, very kindly, Mr. Ian Hulley just sent me several bags of baby tyres. And when I say baby tyres, the very few that he had left over from his restorations. So he's very kindly sent me a couple to keep me going for the early restorations. But if anyone out there has a source or someone who prints them or sells them as a job lot, I'm looking for sort of 50 plus. I don't want to be buying 4 at a time. I want to buy a bag of 50 or a bag of 100. And there's probably, as I say, as we all know, there's all different sizes, because what fits that's not going to fit that, and what fits that isn't going to fit that. So yes, all the different sizes. Email down the bottom, contact me or leave a comment. So we'll stick that one. These are all wrapped up because I suppose I'm a little bit anal. I don't they may have issues, but I don't want them on my watch. I don't want to make them any worse. This is not a particular favourite, but it was in the job lot, so I ended up with it. It's another Burago. It's a Mercedes. It's a 300 SL. It's got a broken screen. The headlights have dropped, so that's going to become a spares car. So we'll stick that over there. I did put a shout out on the DMC because obviously we're trying a bit of a swap shop over there for people that have got. I mean, we've all got too many cars. Even I, who've only recently started collecting, I've got a lot of cars that I'm not going to ever use. And if there's a spare part that you need, this DMC swap shop idea has come along. And the suggestion is that you make a post about the bits or cars that you're trying to restore that you're missing parts for. So I was missing a screen and a sliding door for a DAF City car. I was missing the screen for a Heinkel Trojan bubble car. I think I've just talked total gibberish there, but anyway, never mind. I also need a near side door for a Cortina, and I'm pretty sure that's a Corgi. It might be a Dinky, but I'm pretty sure it's a Corgi. But it's a near side opening door, the one where the pillars break. And then this one as well. So it's this Citroen Safari. The back seat works okay, but unfortunately I'm missing the lower part and the upper part of the tailgate. And obviously it's so rare to see any one of these Citroen Safaris has actually got anything attached to this roof rack. Not even sure which version this one is, because obviously it's been over painted or dipped in something not very nice, or I'm not sure whether it's paint or goo or whatever, but that's obviously a right for restoration as soon as I can find the tailgate and lower part. So that's one that I'm on the lookout for, so if anyone's got those, that's great. Where are we? The next one, this is a bigger one. So I've got it. They actually arrived in tissue paper, so I actually kept them in tissue paper because I didn't want them to, as I say, really didn't want them to get any more damage than they already are. But this is a nice one, and it's mostly there. And this is the Dinky Super Toys Coles mobile crane. So there we go, and there it is. And that's a beauty. Both winders there. So one winder does the crane arm, and then the other winder does the hook. It's such a clever design, this, for a model. Obviously in two parts, but attached. But obviously with the rivet there, you can't see how it's attached. But the great thing is, if you get it in the right position, which is about there, I think, you can literally go like that and get into the mechanism. So if you look inside there we go, there's the string. So the string could be replaced. Obviously it's still got the old boy, he's probably younger than me. No, he's got to be older than me, isn't he? Anyway, it's got the driver in there as well. There, can you see him? Can you see him? I sound like Matthew McConaughey in that film with Samuel Jackson. There we go. So that is there. So underneath that, there's going to be a rivet holding that little indent in place there. But I will restore that one. And I did have that one, so that was another one off the list, which is fabulous. 2 or 3 more, and then we're done. Another Dinky Super Toy. This is the Fodden. I was educated about the name Fodden by the wonderful Mr. Dare. I always thought it was Foden, like the footballer, but it's actually Fodden, like Fodden. But this is the Fodden flatbed, and I had this as well. And multiple things used to live on top of it. I used to transport things around. So nice to get one in good condition. I'm half tempted to leave that as it is because it's such a. I know it's lost its paint on the top. Might restore it. We'll have to see. But that was a particular favourite because I'm pretty sure this one was one of my elder brother's motors. Missing its spare tyre there. Got to get a spare rim and tyre, or tyre on there anyway. But a lovely one, that one. So we're going to stick that one. Because they're all so bulky, they're taking up a bit more space. I'm just going to stick that one there. We should, hopefully I don't knock over the. There we go. Can we still see that? Yeah, we can still see that. Right, little babby one now. Don't know what it is with Volkswagens, because they're so popular. This is a Norev Volkswagen Golf, and it's lovely. It's lost its bloody tailgate, which is such a shame. And why that came in this job, like, I knew. Hey, who knows? Look, the screen's dropping. I think that's because obviously there's a bit of movement. The suspension has collapsed as well. But the actual paintwork is in cracking condition. So pretty pleased with sugar on the top. If you've got a tailgate for that out there, I'd love that, because I had one of those when I was a growing up. Probably, and I had it as a real car as well. I don't think it was an Oreo version. I really don't. But I did have a Volkswagen. I'm pretty sure it was a Corgi actually. It'd be nice to get a complete one. So set that over there with the cars. What we got here? Oh, this one's well wrapped up. Oh yeah. Right, information time. I didn't mention this on the DMC, but I'm going to stick it out there on this channel for some wise person to be able to tell me where to go, what to do, or if there's a little workaround. I've got the Bedford dust cart. Now the great thing with this, despite the fact that it's a little bit tired, everything is there. So both side doors, the back doors there, the handles there, the tyres are there. The only thing that's missing is the little screw that comes up here. Now, is there a way of making one? Is there a way of getting one? Does someone sell them? Because I know it goes in there, and then as you wind, it actually lifts that up slowly. I'm pretty sure it was Martin Dare that restored one of these. And I know he had a bit of problem with these sliding doors, as I am. Seem to want to go 1 minute and then not the next. They go up really easily, but coming down is a bit more tricky. Anyway, let's put them. Where shall we go? Let's put that one there. There we go. All right. Right, from the look of it, there's 4 smalls in there, and then we're done. And then we can call this video done. So we've got a Matchbox Baja buggy, little green one, decal intact, paint coming off. That's not someone banging it into a wall, that's corrosion, I think. Orange interior, engine intact. Does it roll? Not really. Right, we've got a cockeye wheel there, so the suspension's broken, so that needs adjustment. We've got a personal favourite, and I didn't even know this was in here, and this one will be restored. It's the Ford Corsair, one of my favourite cars of all time. It was one of my dad's as well. Paint on the screen, paint on the rear screen. Obviously no roof rack, no boat, but I have got an almost perfect one of these, which has now got its own little box and is safe and sound. But I will restore that to the way Dad's one was, which was white with a black vinyl roof. And the colour white was ermine white. It wasn't diamond white, it was ermine white. And I say it was a black roof. It was almost like a very, 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 very dark grey. Now, whether that was sun bleaching, I don't know. But I remember the black roof, and it didn't have a tow hook, so I shall probably remove that as well. But that's a little Corsair. Roller, minus its tyres. Rolls Royce Silver Shadow. I think it's the one with the opening, but yeah, opening boot, there we go. Front's intact, back's intact, boot's intact, needs tyres, needs a paint job. Trouble is getting these rollers refurbished is a lot more expensive than standard cars. Just kidding. Yeah, we'll be doing that one if I can get some tyres. Pretty sure they're the same tyres that are on the Mustang as well. Is it the Mustang or is it the GT40? Oh, we had this conversation before. It's one of them. Anyway, there we go. And finally, poor little thing. It's been loved, it's been played with, but it's still here. We'll have to probably turn it into something else because there's no way this is getting restored as is. The old cattle truck lost half of its body. I think what happened was I bought these big ones. They've just slung, obviously they had a few cars left around and they've slung them in. That's looking very poorly, very second-hand. Bizarrely, the screen's intact. There we go. Well, that's it. Let me just double check the box. Yeah, no other bits in there. Look, I want to say, guys, the support I've had since I started up the channel has been absolutely fantastic. Met some lovely people. Had some fantastic items sent to me, which has blown me away. Generosity of people never fails to surprise me. You hear all bad things on the news and on social media about, oh, this person's like that, and oh, I don't like that person. But there are some seriously lovely, lovely, lovely people out there. Most of them are listed in my thank you at the start. But increasingly, every time I put up a new video, we get a new contact, and I'm getting to know those as well. So it's fantastic. So thank you for the kindness, thank you for the support, thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, thank you for commenting. And if you enjoyed this video half as much as I've enjoyed it twice as much as you. So thanks ever so much, guys. See you again very, very soon. Bye now.